Today I'm showing you how I canned carrot cake jam, and this was recommended to me by one of my subscribers, the Denise Drake. And I love it when y'all tell me about things that you've canned that you like, and then I can give it a try. So keep the ideas coming. This jam is one of those things that people like so well that they'll make it as gifts, and that's what Denise did with it, and people actually came back and wanted to buy more from her. So give this a try, it's really good. To a large pot, I added 1½ cups of finely grated carrots, 1½ cups of chopped pears, 1 3/4 cups of canned pineapple, including the juice. Now, this pineapple is some that I canned myself, so I have more juice to this than most people normally do. You usually use store-bought crushed pineapple, but this is some that I did myself. And by the way, home canned pineapple is far, far better than store-bought. I also added 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, ½ teaspoon of ground nutmeg, and for the boring people in my house, next time I'll just add 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, and ½ teaspoon of cloves, and once again I'll have to cut back to 1/4 teaspoon on that. Then you bring all of that to a boil, cover it and reduce the heat and let it simmer for 20 minutes. Then add a box of pectin and stir it until it's dissolved. When it comes back to a boil, add 6½ cups of granulated sugar. Stirring constantly, boil it for 1 minute, then remove it from the heat. Now you're ready to can. Take a hot jar and fill it, leaving a 1/4 inch headspace. Remove the air bubbles. Wipe the rim of the jar clean. Put on a hot lid, a hot ring, and then tighten it firmly. I apologize for the jet noise. Then I set the jar in my water bath canner to stay warm until all the jars are full. Once all of the jars are completed, I drop the rack down into the canner and make sure that there's at least 1 inch of water covering the jars. I put the lid on the canner, and when the water came back to a boil, I processed them for 10 minutes. But you need to adjust the processing time to suit your altitude. When the processing time was complete, I turned off the heat, removed the lid, and let the canner sit for 5 minutes. Then I removed the jars from the canner and set them on a towel on the counter to cool. As the jars cool, the button on the top of the lid will depress downward and the jars will seal. This recipe made 6 3/4 pint jars. If you like, you can add a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans or walnuts during the last 1 minute boil. This recipe is very good, and like I said, if any of you have anything that you've canned that you really like, let me know about it so I can give it a try. So that's how the carrot cake jam turned out. I hope it helps.